Hello, everyone out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to talk some more about The Devil Wears Prada. The Devil Wears Prada, your favorite movie, not mine. Although I gotta admit, I've seen a lot worse. Okay, if you've watched this channel, I've reviewed a lot of movies. Okay, most of them sucked. Yes, I know that hurts your feelings. Okay, I know I burst your bubble. Okay, you've been living in lollipop land. Okay, where all the stuff that happens in these rom-coms and these chick flicks will happen to you in real life. I know you think that, okay, but it's just not real. Okay, it's not. Okay, you know what's more realistic? I just watched the Thunderbolts movie. Okay, I just watched Revenge of the Sith recently. Okay, that stuff was more realistic than any rom-com I've ever seen. All right, most rom-coms, sorry, not all of them. Okay, there's a few good ones out there. There really is. I've been pleasantly surprised. Okay, now no, I did not grow up watching rom-coms. Okay, I really never was really that into that genre. The only reason I'm doing this, the only reason I'm reviewing these rom-coms, okay, is because nobody else is. Okay, no straight guys are reviewing this stuff. Okay, the only guys you see that review these movies are gay guys. Okay, and these are older movies. All right. The rom-com movies, they don't go to theaters anymore. Not really. I mean, sometimes they do, but very rarely now. They go straight to streaming. Okay, so you know, mostly what women watch now is the TV shows, the streaming shows. Okay, something like Bridgerton or some crap like that. Okay, and they think that that's realistic. They think that's going to happen to them. Yeah, you can be plus size, you can be body positivity, and still get a high value man. Okay, no. Okay, I'm going to burst your bubble here. Okay, the difference between the female fantasies of these movies and the male fantasies of guy movies is that the guys know this crap. We know it's not real. We know it's not going to happen to us. We know we don't look like Chris Evans. Okay, we know that, you know, if we get bitten by a radioactive spider, we're not going to get any superpowers and fight bad guys. We know that we're not smart enough, okay, to build a suit of armor that's going to give us superpowers. We know that's not real. Okay, we know that. We're just being entertained. We don't go out of the theater thinking, oh my God, now I'm going to do that too. Okay, no. Oh, that's going to happen to me. No, it's not. And we know that. And we're okay with that. Okay, we're okay. We just want a little bit of escapism. Just a little bit of a break from the day-to-day, you know, that kind of thing. And the difference is that women, they watch crap like, you know, like The Notebook, and they think that's real. They think that'll happen to them too. You know? Yeah, absolutely. Go leave your rich, super good looking fiance, okay, for the poor guy that you had sex with like 15 years ago. Okay, it'll all work out in the end, I promise. You know, it won't. It won't. Okay, this is a load of crap. Or something like I just reviewed It Ends With Us. Oh my God. You think The Scandal's bad? That movie is terrible. It's terrible. Okay, that's the last movie I reviewed. Go look up all the episodes. Okay, I reviewed that movie to death. Okay, and it's still going on because there's still new developments. I don't know. Taylor Swift got subpoenaed. Okay, she's gonna have to go to court now and give a testimony. Okay, I mean, this is ridiculous. You know, so I've reviewed a lot of movies. All right, and they're all on my channel here. Go and check it out. I reviewed every episode of Sex and the City. Okay, every single one. And I reviewed the new show And Just Like Crap. And guess what? Guess what I'm doing as soon as I'm done with this movie? Guess what I'm reviewing? Okay, that's right. And Just Like Crap Season 3 already got announced. They've already shown the trailer for it. And now I'm going to have to sit through that. I am. Oh, yeah. Gonna get my gear and we're going back in the jungle. Absolutely. We're gonna go through navigate through that abortion. Okay. Good news is I do know they got rid of that Fred Flintstone looking thing. Okay, that Miranda was in love with. And they also got I'm just saying that out loud. Okay, that she left Steve for. And they also got rid of the black college professor because she served absolutely no purpose on the show. She had nothing. She contributed nothing to the TV show at all. Nobody cared about her. She was not a major character. They tried to make her a major character and it didn't matter. She had no story arc, no nothing. She was just there because she's black. You know, it's ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, so that's just a heads up. Okay, that's coming. Okay, that's coming. All right, I'll get ready for that one. We're not talking about And Just Like Crap. We're talking about The Devil Wears Prada. For all you gay people out there. Oh, by the way, I recently did a video with American Zombie. Okay, he's a YouTube channel. Okay, and we talked for like 3 hours. Okay, so that was pretty fun. I like being guests on people's shows. Okay, I haven't done that since Megan Fox. And Megan, if you're watching this, we need to talk again. Okay, I know you're doing all that true crime, courtroom stuff, but we need to get back to the things that are really important. Okay, dating and culture, and movies flopping and stuff like that, and politics. All right, because Hollywood's imploding. Oh my God, yeah, it's awesome. It's pretty exciting times right now. It really is. Okay, let's talk about the movie here. Let's talk about the movie. Okay, so we left off last time. Okay, Andy, who is our protagonist, our main character, we root for her. We're following her on this adventure. She's our window into this world of fashion, okay, in New York. Okay, what is it like to work at like something like a Vogue magazine or something, she's the window, okay, into that world. So we're seeing the industry through her eyes. She goes in there, you've got the hierarchy at the magazine. Miranda Priestley's on top of that. She's the editor-in-chief of Runway magazine, which is really just, it's a fictional version of Vogue magazine. This is based on a real person. Okay, Dame Anna Wintour was the real editor-in-chief of Vogue magazine, and by all accounts, she was a mega bitch. Okay, and the author of the book that this movie is based on, Lauren Weisenberger, she worked as Anna Wintour's assistant for 11 months. She couldn't even hack it a year, and then she quit and wrote a book about it, and which got turned into this movie. Okay, all right. And apparently, a true story. I did some research on this. A lot of famous designers refused to make cameos in this movie because they did not want to risk pissing off Dame Anna Wintour. Because remember, Meryl Streep is doing basically a parody of her in this. Okay, and the designers are so scared that if they were to make an appearance in this movie, it would piss off Miss Wintour. So they declined their invitations to make cameos in this movie. All right, true story. Apparently, Dame Anna Wintour did watch this movie eventually. She did get around to watching this, and she said she liked it. So it was for nothing. The designers were scared for nothing. Oh well. Anyway, so moving right along. So the last time when we left off in the last video, okay, our main character Andy, okay, she's been working there. She just started. She's a second assistant, okay, lowest man on the totem pole. She's criticized. She's humiliated. She's ridiculed. Okay, she's given way too much a task but not told how to do it. Okay, her trainer, the first assistant, Emily, played by Emily Blunt, okay, is not her friend, is not nice to her, is constantly telling her she's screwing up. What the hell's wrong with you? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Blah, blah, blah. Do you realize that if you get fired, it's my ass? And and so she has no real love for her. Okay, always mocking her, always making fun of the way she looks, things like that. Talking about her behind her back, that kind of crap. Okay, the usual office politics that girls love to do. Okay, so all that's going on here. Andy can't stand it. Okay, she's going to tough it out for a year because she's only working there so she can build up her resume so she can actually go into journalism, okay, which is what she really wants to do. But this job is just to get her foot in the door into the publishing industry, okay, so she can put this on her resume and then move on. She doesn't care about fashion. She wears conservative clothes, she's none of that stuff. Well, that's what's biting her in the ass, is that she doesn't care. So she talks to this gay guy named Nigel, who's the art director at Runway. He's a nice guy, but he's not really her friend. He's just giving her advice. He's giving her the hard love, okay, the tough love. Okay, he's sticking it up there, okay, with no lube, just like I do, no lube. There's no lube here. The real question is, can you handle it? Can you handle the truth? Because I don't think you can. In fact, I know you can't. And neither can Annie. Okay, because Nigel gives it to her metaphorically. I wouldn't do it metaphorically. Anyway, but so Nigel gives it to her, tells her, hey, listen, you don't care about this industry, okay? I'm this gay guy, okay? I fought very long and hard to work here. So what I do here is important. This isn't a magazine. This is a beacon of hope for millions of gay guys out there. Okay? But for you, you don't even give a shit. You don't even care about what you look like. You just come in here in those stupid clothes. You see what I mean? And you go, there's millions of women would love to have your job. You know, that kind of thing. And he's right. He's actually right. Okay, so they have a wardrobe. They have like a storage room. They have extra designer clothes. So he grabs a bunch of stuff and gives it to her. So now she's walking into work every single day wearing designer outfits. Okay, so now she looks like everybody else there. They're all wearing heels, stilettos, name brands. They're all dressed like that there. Okay, that's the culture. Okay, if you want to work in there, even if you're a janitor, you better wear a designer uniform to work. Okay, if you're cleaning the shitters. Okay, that's the culture they have over there. Okay, that's what Miranda expects. Now, Miranda obviously is the villain. She's the antagonist. She's a queen bitch. But actually, she does prove herself. Okay, there's a scene where she berates Andy. Of course she does. Because Andy doesn't see fashion as that important. And Miranda has explained to her, okay, that it's extremely important. There's no way you're not connected to it. Okay, the people in this room decided that piece of crap outfit that you think you chose that outfit when you came into work today? The hell you did. Years ago, the people in this room decided that one day you would wear that outfit. Okay, and yet here you are thinking that you have nothing to do with this, that what we do in this room is not important? You see what I mean? He kind of gives that to her, and she's right, which is kind of weird because you would think the movie, whenever you see it the other way around, whenever you see a woman who's in charge, I mean, not a woman in charge, but a woman who's working for a man who's in charge, or whenever the man is the asshole, usually it's a straight white Christian guy. Whenever he's an asshole, think like something like 9 to 5. I know it's an older movie. It's with Dolly Parton and Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda. Dabney Coleman played Mr. Hart, who was this chauvinistic, misogynist, Harvey Weinstein, type boss, okay, sexual harasser, all that guy. He stole his employees' ideas, okay, he always kept women down, that kind of thing. He's chauvinist all the way, okay. Whenever they do that, it usually in these movies, it always ends up that the man that's in charge, the only reason he's in charge is because he has a penis. That is the only reason. He's actually a dumbass. The women that work for him are a lot smarter than him. They're a lot more creative than him. Okay, they're a lot better employees than him, but yet he gets all the credit because he's a man. Okay, the truth is he didn't deserve. The only reason he's there, the only reason he's in charge of all this stuff, the only reason he has all this responsibility and makes all this money is because he's a man. Okay, that's typically how it is in these movies. Okay, the guy is always a jerk off. Okay, he doesn't deserve to be there. He's only there because he's a man. Okay, and that's true. That's every rom-com there, or every chick flick there is. Where they have an asshole boss, where the woman has an asshole boss who's a guy, who's a man. Okay, well in this case it's kind of the same thing. Only the boss is a woman. Okay, and because it's a woman, they can't just write her off. She can't just be some woman who got the job because, she's sucking the chairman of the board's dick or something like that. I know Monica Lewinsky stuff here, okay? They can't do that because that would offend women, and it's Meryl Streep playing her, so you can't make her look bad, right? So what they did is they actually changed it, which I like. I wish they would do this more with movies where a man is in charge, because that's actually true. Okay, if there's a guy in charge, he's usually there because he didn't get the job for fucking somebody. That's for sure. Okay, he didn't get the job because he fucked somebody in power. He got the job because he fucking earned it. Okay, he fucking earned it. I just wish you can still make the guy, the boss, a bad guy. You can still make him a piece of shit. Okay, but at least show him that the reason he's there is because he fucking earned it. Okay, he earned it. That's why he's in charge, because he knows more than the people beneath him. At least show that. He can still be a jerk. He can still be a chauvinist. He can still be a sexual harasser. He can still do all those things, okay? But at least he's good at his job, and that's why he's up there, okay? No chick flick will ever do that. Not when a man is in charge, okay? But since the woman's in charge, okay, Miranda Priestley earned her spot there. Yes, she's a bitch. Yes, she treats everyone like crap. She's demanding and all that kind of stuff. She's passive aggressive. She's everything, okay? But she's also very good at what she does. Very good at what she does. That's why she's there. Okay? She demands 150% from her staff because that's what she demands from herself. Okay? Her life is a fucking, she has all this authority, she has all this power, people suck up to her, okay? But she also, okay, makes a hell of a lot of sacrifices. Okay, so that she can be where she is, so that she can have, she can make her magazine #1. Okay? She's made a lot of sacrifices. Okay? And she expects her staff to do the same thing. Okay, she's always playing 3D chess. She's thinking 3 steps ahead. Okay, so she expects her staff to also think 3 steps ahead. Okay, that's why she's so demanding. That's why she expects, she'll tell you one thing, but she also means this, this, and this needs to go with it. Okay, and if you can't figure that out on your own, you don't need to be here, because that's the way she thinks. Okay, she thinks, you know, in 3 dimensions. Okay, and so she expects her staff to do the same. Okay, that's why she's so hard on everybody. Okay, but I'm not saying it's nice or anything, and I've worked jobs like this. I know what it's like. I was in the Marines. Okay, yeah, you know what happens when you screw up in the Marine Corps? They don't treat you the way Miranda treats them, that's for sure. They treat you a lot worse. Okay, because it's life or death when you screw up. All right, this is just a fucking fashion magazine, but to them, it's goddamn, they're curing cancer. To the people that work there, you know, it's life or death. Okay, so they take that's the culture. They take it very seriously. All right, so Miranda, being this queen bitch and stuff, what do you call it? She's now starting to notice Andy, because Andy's wearing designer clothes now. Okay, she's wearing designer clothes, so they're not making fun of the way she looks anymore. So she's starting to get a head up here. Okay. Now, Andy, as a second assistant, she's late for a meeting, okay? Not a meeting, sorry. She's going to meet her boyfriend and her 2 friends, okay? Now, the stereotypical friends that she has here in New York, she has her boyfriend, Nate, okay, played by Adrian Grenier. He's from that show Entourage, okay? She plays he's like an assistant chef in this restaurant, okay? A restaurant that uses paper napkins, okay? So it's not like a fine dining, all right? Anyway, so it's her boyfriend, Nate, and then their gay friend, Doug, who's this big, tall research assistant who's gay. Of course, you have to have a gay friend. It is a chick flick. Okay, and then her best friend's this black girl named Lily who works at a art gallery. What does she do there? I don't know. They haven't explained it, but she works at an art gallery. Anyway, so they're all there, and Andy was supposed to meet them there, but because she's working so much, she's always got her phone, you know, in case it rings, in case the magazine calls her or Miranda calls her. She's always got to be available at a moment's notice, at 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no matter what. Okay, and so she's late meeting them at the restaurant. Okay, but she does bring gifts. Okay, she brings a lot of crap that nobody needs, like a $1,100 cell phone that looks like a coat handle. It looks dumb. Okay, she has a designer gifts for all of them. Okay, and of course, Lily, the black girl, she sees the Marc Jacobs bag. Okay, and she just like starts having orgasms over it. Now you girls, man, I swear to God, or stupid like a bag. Even I'm on Andy's side when it comes to this shit. What the fuck, man? A Birkin bag and you girls start fucking fingering yourselves. What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay? I love my fucking, look at this shit here. I got my fucking, look, see this? I collect fucking Transformers, all right? I collect Transformers. Is this stupid? Maybe to you it is, okay? But, you know, I just got this thing here the other day. This just came in the mail yesterday. Look at that thing. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay? Yeah, I got that, okay? It's my hobby, okay? But even I don't orgasm over that. I was just excited to have. Okay, yeah, I finally got it. I got it on sale, eBay. You know. But I'm like, oh my god, like you girls do when you see a goddamn Marc Jacobs bag or a Birkin bag or a Louis Vuitton bag. It's a fucking bag. What the hell? Anyway, moving right along. So that's happening here. Okay. Yeah, she orgasms over it. And of course, so does she's not the only one that's orgasming over this crap. So is the gay guy, Doug. Okay, he's also orgasming over this stuff. And Nate, the boyfriend, is just like, he's just like, what the hell? Don't you have any guy friends you need to hang out with, dude? Like, what the hell? What are you hanging out with this chick and this fucking gay guy for? What the hell? What the hell are you hanging out with them for? Anyway, so that's all going on here, okay? Because the gay guy's in love with the perfume he got, okay? I guess the Marc Jacobs bag is worth $1,900. Like, who gives a crap, man? Okay, and so Nate, of course, the boyfriend feels left out because he's not gay, okay? So he doesn't understand, it's just a bag. I mean, what the hell? Why does that bag cost $1,900? It's just a bag, of course. And the gay guy Doug does, so, they're like, but it's so pretty, it's a fucking bag. Anyway, so Andy gets called away. Of course, her cell phone rings. She's got to go. Okay, and before she leaves, she calls her 3 friends that are sitting there assholes. I'm not making that up. Because they're questioning kind of this stuff like, oh my God, what are we doing with this? Like, why does this cost so much? Like the little crappy cell phone that she gave her, like is $1,100 for this crappy little cell phone thing that nobody would ever use. It's overpriced, And she's like, and now Andy's offended that her friends don't understand the value of this stuff. So before she walks away from the table, she calls them all a bunch of assholes. Now, how's that for your friend, huh? Just to call you all a bunch of assholes. And she didn't mean it as a joke. You know, hey, asshole. No, she meant it like, hey, you guys don't have to be assholes. And then walks away. Like, whoa, okay. I think the job's getting to you. Moving right along, Andy gets summoned to a private party, okay? She's at a private party. Of course, it's a gay party, okay? Those straight people show up at these things. Okay, maybe one. All right, anyway, so she's to meet a gay designer, of course. Is there any other kind? Is there any other kind of designer that's not gay? All right. The guy's name is James Holt. He's a fashion designer. Of course he is. With a name like that, I'm surprised he's not a porn star, gay porn star. Anyway, he's there acting all gay and stuff. He notices that the bag that Andy is carrying is a bag that he designed. He even points it out. Queen. Yeah, just like that. All right. Okay. So, of course, they get along. All right. Okay. He gives her his designs. Like, he gives her the little portfolio there. Tells her to give it to Miranda, okay? And then while she's there, she decides to get a drink, okay? Because like it's a party, and she meets this guy, this fucking Truman Capote guy, okay? I'm not saying he looks like he wants to look like Truman Capote. He's got the scarf, you know, like I guess he's a writer too, like Truman Capote. What Truman Capote would, that's all he did was go to these fucking gay parties, okay? All right, but anyway, so this guy's there. His name's Christian Thompson. He's played by a guy named Simon Baker, I think. You've seen that TV show, The Mentalist. Okay, he was the star of that show. I think his name is Simon Baker. Okay, I'll have to look that up again later. But anyway, he shows up there with his curly blonde hair. He's like supposed to be the super good-looking stud, you know, the kind you cheat on your boyfriend with. He's an established writer. Andy knows who she is because, you know, I guess she read some of his work when she was in college. So she's heard of him. She knows him by reputation, but now she's meeting him for real. Okay, so this guy is a writer that she respects and admires. Okay, his name's Christian Thompson. He's a handsome, well-known writer. Okay, Andy looks up to him and he starts flirting with her. Of course he does. Okay, because the high-value men always flirt with the average-looking women in these movies. Okay, didn't you know that? It happens in real life too, right? 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 Anyway, so that's going on. Okay, he offers to read some of her work that she did in college, because she doesn't write anything at her job. Okay, she just fetches coffee and shit and does stupid errands like this. All right, and he tells her that she's nice. She's too nice and smart to be working for Miranda Priestley at Runway magazine, and she kind of takes Andy kind of takes offense to this and just like and walks away. Okay, now Andy, so she kind of leaves him there with blue balls, all right? Now Andy starts accepting more responsibility at work. We see another montage of that, okay? And she starts understanding the work culture much better, okay? So now she's starting to get the hang of things. She's looking the part now. She's understanding how things are done, what things mean, that kind of stuff, okay? So we see that real quickly. Miranda arrives. Okay, in another scene, she goes to James Holt, the designer we just met at the party. Now we go to his studio, okay, where he's got his own employees working there, and he's very excited but a little bit nervous. Okay, Miranda's coming to visit his studio, and he's actually going to show off his designs to her in person. Okay, he actually got an appointment with the great Miranda Priestley. Okay. So she goes there, you know, with her staff, including Andy, and they just sit down and they watch the show, the little runway show that he gives her, okay, at the studio to show Miranda his collection, okay. Apparently, Miranda hasn't smiled at one of these things since 2001. This movie came out in 2006, okay, just to give you a little timestamp there. All right. So Miranda, everyone's looking at Miranda to see what her reactions are. We see these models come out wearing whatever, you know, and James Holt is like, you know, look, they're all trying to read Miranda's expression. She's just like, you know, a look like that, you know, and your heart just sinks. You can see James Holt's heart like she is not winning her over. Like I said, she hasn't smiled at one of these things since 2001. Okay, so that's going on here. Miranda does purse her lips though. She like that. So I guess that's code for something. That means they're trying to, like, you know, to read what that means. You know, I guess it means something. Okay. So that means when Miranda purses her lips like that to James, that communicates that he has to redo his entire collection again and start all over again. That's what it means. That's the kind of power that Miranda Priestley has in this industry. Okay, her facial expressions tell you exactly where your career is going to go and what you have to do to course correct. Okay, her facial expression, not her words, not her dialogue. Okay, not her notes or anything like that. Okay, her facial expressions determine everything. Okay, that's the kind of power that Miranda has. Okay, in the gayest fuck fashion industry. Anyway, so of course Nigel underlines this, and he tells Andy's like, some of those outfits were really good. I think they're good, and Nigel tells her, listen, okay, Miranda Priestley's is the only opinion that matters here. Okay, her opinion is the only one that matters. Okay, because Miranda Priestley makes or breaks fashion designers. Okay, she can make or break them. That's the kind of power. She's the gatekeeper of this fucking industry. Okay, just like a casting director is, just like a producer is. Okay, in Hollywood, it's the same shit. They decide, okay, whether or not you're going to get in or not. Just like HR is at your job, they decide whether or not you're going to stay or not. Okay, that's how it works. Okay. Okay, but one thing, Miranda is impressed with Andy as far as her competency now. So she tells Andy that from now on, Andy's job is going to be to deliver the book. That's the mock-up book that they use. Okay, Emily does it. Okay, it is the second assistant's responsibility, and Emily is the first assistant now because she got promoted. But Emily still does it because they don't trust Andy to handle that. It's such an important task to drop off this book to Miranda's house every night. But Miranda feels that Andy is now capable of handling that responsibility. All right. So now Andy's like, oh my God, I'm moving up. I'm able to do more things now. Okay, that kind of thing. Okay, so Andy, is wearing in the office the next day. There's Andy, and across from her sits Emily. Okay, and Andy, of course, is wearing she's wearing designer clothes. She's wearing this see how like my necklace right here, my chain is just like this long. Well, Andy's is like from here to like her fucking belly button. It's so fucking distracting. Like, how do you walk around like that with a fucking huge fucking pearl necklace fucking bouncing up and down off your fucking stomach? It's just ridiculous. Anyway, but you girls wear that gay shit, so whatever. Anyway, so Andy's wearing this stupid ass necklace, okay, and she tells Emily, okay, that she's not being, that hey, you know what? Miranda's not calling me by your name anymore. She's calling me by my name now. Isn't that great? And she said I can start, delivering the book, huh? So I guess I'm doing something right. Like that, Okay, Emily's just like, no, she does that. She mocks her. She goes, and then she's like, now, listen to me. Are you listening to me? You must do exactly as I say. Just like that. So just fucking telling her what all the rules are. Okay, apparently there's a whole procedure, okay, involved in delivering a goddamn book to your boss's house. All right? Okay, so she gives her these specific instructions. Okay, number one, okay, she has to wait in the office until about 10:30 p.m. That's when the book will be ready. Okay? So once she has this book, the company driver will drive her to Miranda's house, but she has to stop and pick up Miranda's dry cleaning first. Okay? Then the driver will drop her off at Miranda's house. Andy will be provided with a key already to open the door and let herself in. Once she gets through the foyer, okay, she has to hang up the dry cleaning in a closet across from the staircase. Okay, you got a staircase on the right side of the closet and a table on the left side. She doesn't know which closet to put it in. Okay, so she looks up and she notices Miranda has two daughters who are young. They look like they're like 10 years old or something. Okay, they're twins. Okay, and they're like on the third floor of the staircase. Okay, the staircase goes up to 7. Okay, so this townhouse has 7 floors, has 7 stories. All right, yes, they're rich. Okay, so anyway, so she figures out which closet to put the clothes in, and then she looks over at the girls and shows them the book, and they're like, oh, you can just give it to me. Yeah, that's what Emily does all the time. She just brings it to us. Okay, now the instructions were to leave the book on the table that has the flowers. Okay, well, there's 3 different tables and they all have flowers on them, so she doesn't know which table to put the book on. All right. So the girls tell her, oh, you can just give it to us. Yeah, that's right. Emily does it all the time. She just gives it to us. So, Andy being a dumbass, and nervous, she decides to go up the stairs, which she was not supposed to do. One of the rules was you do not look at anyone, you do not talk to anyone, you must be completely invisible. Well, she's obviously not doing that. Okay, so she starts to go up the stairs. And while she's creeping up the stairs to give the girls the book, okay, she walks in on Miranda and her husband having an argument. Okay, and this is kind of cool because her husband, we don't know his name or anything. Nobody cares. Okay, but he's upset. He's upset with his wife Miranda because they had a dinner date, and once again, like this happens all the time. Miranda did not show up. Okay, for this dinner date. And this is like one of the few times that we ever see Miranda actually showing some sort of vulnerability. And what I mean by that is that she clearly is sorry. It's a very obvious during this argument, okay, that she's trying to win her husband's approval, which is weird because she never tries to win anybody's approval, okay? Everyone's trying to win her approval all the time. But here she is in a vulnerable position. Her husband is mad at her. He's yelling at her. Okay, it's like, once again, you didn't show up, and I know exactly what all the people in the restaurant were thinking. Okay, once again, she doesn't show up. Just like that. And she's like, oh, but I tried to call you. There was no Wi-Fi service under the tunnel. And that's just, she's like trying to explain why she didn't show up. Okay, like she really was sorry about it. Okay, which I thought was kind of weird, but it does remind you, okay? And I know this too, okay, because I know a lot of boss bitches, okay? I've met plenty in my life, okay? And something that a lot of guys are intimidated by them, which I understand, and a lot of guys don't want to be around them because they tend to be bitches. They do, okay? But there's something you got to know about the boss bitch, okay? There's something I learned the hard way, okay? Yes, they are in charge. Yes, they like to give orders. They like to be respected. They like having power. They like people, catering to what they want. Yes, they have lots of responsibility, and so they have to act a certain way. Okay, but, okay, on their own time, okay, in their own personal life, they don't want to deal with any of that shit. They just want someone to take care of them for a change. Okay, they want someone to do for them. Okay, they want someone else to be in charge. Okay, they're in charge all fucking day. Okay. They want to come home and let someone else handle that shit. Let someone else take care of the dinner. Let someone else take care of that. Okay? I've done my time running shit all day. I want someone to take care of me for a change. You see what I mean? And that's the truth. That's how women really are. These boss bitches, that's how they really are, but you're not going to really see that in the movie. But in this movie, you kind of see a little bit of that. Okay, yeah, she is this incredible boss bitch, okay, at work, okay? But at home with her husband, she's not. To him, she's not. She might be with her daughters, but to him, she ain't. She respects her husband, okay? And she's generally upset that her husband is upset with her. And I thought that was a good touch because it reminds us that Miranda is a human being. She's not just this antagonist. Now, if the guy was the evil boss at work, they would never show anything like this. Okay, because once if you're a straight white man and you're the boss and the women are the main characters, you're the asshole, and you were going to be the asshole, and it's going to turn out that you're a coward, you're an idiot, and you're evil. Okay, like I said, 9 to 5, perfect example, that movie. All right, but in this case, they can't do that because she's a woman. Okay, you can't make women look bad, so you got to flesh her out. She's got to be 3-dimensional. She can't just be a 1-dimensional evil bitch. There's got to be layers to her. Okay, so that you can kind of sympathize with her. Okay, and I thought that was a nice touch. I wish they would give more care like that to other movies where men are portrayed, but they'll never give the courtesy to men that they give to Meryl Streep. Okay, so I did like that she is vulnerable. Okay, especially around her husband, she is at least. Okay, around her husband, she doesn't wear the pants in that relationship. Okay, so that's pretty obvious. All right, and to a fault because it's pissing him off. All right, anyway, a guy that was subjected a guy that was subordinate to his wife, he would be the one apologizing to her instead of the other way around. Okay, so that's going on here. Okay, obviously the argument stops once they notice, Andy right there on the stairs holding the book, like, and like the look Miranda gives Andy is just like that. No words are said. She never says anything to Andy during this entire scene. She's just like that, okay? Just look, I'm gonna fucking kill you, look. So Annie's just she sets the book down in front of her on the floor and just creeps out of there, okay? Because she knows she fucked up, all right? So that's going on here, okay? And, she leaves Miranda. The very next scene is Andy showing up to work the next day, and Emily basically grabs her as soon as she walks in. It grabs her by the arm and pulls her as soon as she walks in the door. Now, Emily, okay, is wearing way the fuck too much makeup in this scene, okay? This is how men are, okay? We notice big changes, Okay, remember I told you, like, we don't care really about what the girl is wearing. The only thing that men really notice on a woman, what she's wearing, is if it looks really good or if it looks really bad. Okay, if she's just average, we don't give a shit. I don't care how much those clothes cost. Okay, we don't give, straight guys, we don't give a shit about that stuff. All right, not really, not on women. Even straight, we do about what we wear. Okay, I got Armani suits, I got stuff, you know. Okay, we care about what we look like, but not women. We notice like if it looks really good or if it looks really bad, and that's it. Okay, and Emily Blunt, okay, it looks like shit here. Way too much fucking makeup. I mean, you would need a shovel to take the makeup off of her face. Okay, what the fuck is up with that mascara she's wearing? She looks like fucking Rocket Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not fucking making that up. Her hair is bleached red. Okay, you know, like the fucking libtard fucking activists, progressives wear, you know, the blue, the pink, and the red hair. She's got red hair like that. Okay, and that her lipstick fucking doesn't even look real. Okay, it looks like a fucking Crayola crayon on her fucking face. All right, what the fuck? And nobody, of course, nobody points this out. Nobody goes like, what the, whoa, before you start yelling at me, what the fuck is up with this face of yours right now? Nobody says that, because that's what a guy would say. Whoa, 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 before you start yelling at me, what the fuck is this shit? Have you looked at yourself in the fucking mirror? It's the same thing with Sex in the City. Oh my God, Carrie Bradshaw be walking down New York, you know, dressed like fucking Pennywise the Clown, and nobody says anything to her. Nobody goes up there and goes, what the fuck are you wearing? You look like a fucking idiot. Nobody ever says that. Anyway, so I noticed that, okay? Like I said, if it looks really good or if it looks really bad, in this case, Emily Blunt looks really fucking bad. All right, way too much fucking makeup on. Way too much fucking makeup on. All right, so anyway, you know, she berates Andy, okay, for screwing up the book delivery of the night before. Okay, Andy tries to walk away from her. He's like, okay, I made a mistake. And she walks away and fucking Emily's like, and pulls her back. Now you listen to me here. If you get fired, that's gonna affect my trip to Paris. And I swear to God, if you interfere with that, I will hunt you down no matter where you are. Just like that. So Emily's worried about her own ass here, okay? And then, of course, what happens next? We hear from the office, we hear Miranda, Andrea. And so the two women look at each other like, and Emily's just like that. Okay, so of course, Andy goes. She's probably gonna get her ass chewed. But we'll talk about that in the next video, okay? I'm gonna stop it right here. I'll be back soon to continue my review of The Devil Wears Prada. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.